This is Chet Faker, and you're listening to 89 FM, the Radio Rock.
So I obviously want to ask you about performing here in Brazil at the Rock in the Mountain Festival. I know there's more dates to come, but tell me
Mm.
what was like how was the energy, and like is there any chance in the set list from the next show? You tell me everything.
It was a great show. Yeah, we had fun. The crowd was good. I played at like sunset, so started at 5 and then played for an hour and a half or 70 minutes. So it was nice that everyone was kind of chilling, and then as it got dark, people warmed up. Um, yeah, it was a great show. Me and the band. The crowd was great. It was a huge crowd, and I also had a really nice time walking around the festival earlier in the day and listening to some music. I heard honestly some like really good Brazilian music, which is such a treat because like sometimes I'm usually at festivals listening to like I don't know, not as good music. I think I much prefer Brazilian music down here. People actually play instruments here. A lot
Yeah.
of modern stuff is like computers, and that's cool, but like there's like 7 people on stage and a lot of percussion. So I went and had a dance and walked around. So it was great.
So you're a fan
Yeah.
as well, right?
No, really. Yeah, I am. I love
Yeah.
Brazilian music.
I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you, are you interested in collaborating with a Brazilian artist in the future? Do you know somebody that really caught your attention and that you might like to collaborate in the future?
I mean, I don't really do collaboration. It's not
Hmm.
something like there are definitely artists that I love their music and listen to it, but I think as a musician, I don't know. I think I'm kind of a weirdo. I'm not like, if I listen to something, I'm just like, I love that, but I don't then think I want to work with them. You know, if it's almost like the opposite. I'm like, I don't want to meet them because I don't want to ruin it. But I will say yesterday, there were 2 artists that I heard. One was, wait, where was it? I keep forgetting her name.
Oh god,
Um,
wait. Let's see if I
but
have
it was
this.
amazing. Uh, Oh, my computer is not updating. That's really
Are
annoying.
you googling?
No, I took a screenshot of it because
Oh,
it's like
great.
some like Brazilian name that like I don't even know how to pronounce, and I
Yeah,
don't want
yeah,
to
I got it.
embarrass it. It was like Lia Te de
Mm.
Itamba or something.
Hmm.
That's I probably said that
That's
so.
fine. That's fine.
That's no, it's not fine. Let me check my phone. I probably said it so bad. Oh, it's in
Oh,
my
so you're in the
pocket.
lobby. That's great. We have a tour here.
Yeah, I'm in the lobby. They're just all like hanging around watching me, like, um, make sure I do what I'm told. Like, let me check it here. I have this because I want to say this because it was such a good show. Was really, um,
I
oh
like your
yeah,
effort to look up to. Oh.
Lia de Itamaraka. I don't know how to say it.
Tamaraka. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
got
man,
it.
like I was just sitting backstage and I was like, what is this? Is amazing. And then I also went into a tent when I was walking around and saw this guy playing. Um, what's I have to read it. What's his name? Samba do Sacramento. I don't know if
Samba do
that's his name.
Sacramento. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome,
Like it's
man.
breathtaking, right? Brazilian music is just
Brazilians, man.
another level, man.
I like that
But
it's
let's talk
like
about,
all percussion.
yeah,
It's
it's like
like
real
there was
instruments. It's like,
no, but I mean,
I
it's
got it.
not. There's not a whole lot of harmony going on. It's like
Hmm.
it'll be like 6 percussionists, one guitarist, one like horn player, and a singer. I feel like
Yeah.
it's all groove and melody. It's not like keys and bass and harmony. It's really cool. It's really
It's
different.
amazing. So let's talk
Mm.
about your music because we can keep going for hours here, but
Yeah,
I
I
want to talk
talk
about
too
this
much.
new
Sorry.
record. I want to talk about this new record. And you said that the song "This Time for Real" comes from a different kind of energy. How does this new album position itself in the related to your previous work, both as Chef Taker and as Nick Murphy?
Yeah, well, it's funny. This I almost cut this time for real from the
Mhm.
album, like the day before it got sent to like be printed to vinyl because the song is so kind of different to the rest of the album.
Mhm.
and I really think that that song kind of represents. It's funny. It sort of represents a sound, an old sound that I feel like I'm moving away from. Um, I still think it fits within the record, so whatever. But yeah, the new record, the direction that I feel like I've been heading towards is more. It's more about funny. We were just talking about it, but it's more about
Mhm.
performance and playing instruments. I think when I first was making the Chet Faker stuff, there were a lot of loops and samples and things like this. And I feel like now, more like on this record, there's a lot of songs where it's like I press record and I played from the beginning till the end, and that's the song, and then I added things on top of it. But at the core, there is this performance and this musicality, and on every song I can play, you give me an instrument, whether it's a guitar or piano, and I can play it. And I think a lot of my old music, I could do that, but it wasn't built that way, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. So yeah, I mean, you could say it's more Brazilian in a way if you want, but like it's
That's
more.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm kidding, but like it's more about performance, and I think that's because I'm touring all the time and playing live, and I want I really don't like I hate computers.
Mm,
I have no
fair enough.
computer on stage, and so like because of that, more and more I'm writing with instruments, and I think the record it represents this, you know.
Yeah, amazing. I like that you mentioned as well that you seek for lightness and the authenticity. So, how does this translate today in the studio, in your songwriting, and in the themes that you choose to explore, especially in this new album that's coming out in
Hmm.
February?
I think again, like a less it's less just like messing around in the computer. It's almost like have more space from the
Hmm.
recording process. I mean, I recorded this album and I mixed it myself as well. Um, but I think now it's more like voice recordings on my phone, and
Hmm.
a lot of the songs were written in my living room, just like I was watching a TV show and like playing the guitar or sitting on the piano, whatever, after dinner. So it's almost more traditional songwriting, more the old ways of doing it. Um, and then once I have the song, then I figure out how to put it into the computer or, record it and things like that. Whereas like when I was beginning, I would start in that world and was searching
Hmm.
for sounds. Um, so it's actually quite a big shift for me. And I think also it's kind of this like, the stuff that I put out under my birth name, Nick Murphy.
Hmm.
I think they're kind of merging. They're merging a little bit, in some ways. So yeah, I like it. I think that this is the best record I've made in a long time. You know.
That's that's great to hear, man.
Mm.
Is there something you feel that you learn or observe differently over the past few years when you think as an artist, as a person, as a performer, and it shows through your new face?
Yeah. Yes. Great question. And yes. um, I think the last 5 6 years have been crazy for the whole
Hmm.
world. I think everyone has had so many things happen in their life. Um, but yeah, for me also a lot happened, and I feel like a lot changed for me. And probably the biggest one is kind of what this record is about, which is a love for strangers. Is this idea of developing a connection and building and expanding a space of love, right? That doesn't have to mean
Hmm.
romantic love. Um, for people that you don't know, we meet strangers every day, um, and I think so much of the world teaches us to like not trust them and keep them at a distance. And I think more and more, I felt like this for so much of my life, and I think in the last few years, I realized that this didn't make me more safe. It just made me less connected, and less inspired and less happy. And I think a big shift for me was developing a love for strangers and realizing that, you know, a love doesn't mean I like give my wallet to someone on the street or anything, but I can still meet someone and be present with them and try to find a space where I am looking for their best intentions, you know.
Mhm.
And also in a relationship, you know, I had a few relationships in the past couple of years, and trying to make them work and realizing that, you know, when you fall in love with someone, you feel so intimate and so close with them, and you are, but in another way, they are a stranger, right?
Yeah.
You've before we get to know someone in a romantic sense, you know, right? We fall in love, and we fall in love with a stranger, and this idea of loving a stranger yet trusting and just that, and yeah, it's in my mind I realized that we're all strangers to each other,
Yeah.
and we can just choose how we want to approach each other. And I think I realized that it's, you know, this idea of love, I know it's a very overused word, and
Mhm.
it's cliche, but it's very real that we can connect in a much more beautiful way. I don't mean trust everyone, but you can still love someone and not trust them, you know?
Yeah.
So just this idea of this was a huge thing for me in the past couple of years and really changed the way that I approach my life as a whole, and even music and crowds and performing. And I think it's really opened up a lot for me in a positive way.
That's really deep, bro. I mean, this links to my next question because I was gonna talk about the song "Magnificent Love," and I think
Hmm.
like it's very direct and very like really vulnerable, I would say. So, how did that emotion and state influence the rest of the songs that haven't been released yet?
Inefficient Love was an interesting song. Well, I mean, side note, that was one of those songs that just I was sitting on my couch and I wrote it. Just was like written in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You know, it was just like the
Mhm.
whole thing, and it really felt like it was like given to me. I didn't think it. You know, I didn't create it. It just was like, oh. Um, but in a way, I think that song represents a lot of like what we were just talking about, is this idea of um, performance, and much simpler, raw, more honest, more authentic, less bells and whistles. Um, but I think, yeah, I think like if you could think of the if you think of the album "A Love for Strangers," on one end is like "Inefficient Love," and on the other end is "This Time for Real." They're kind of
Mhm.
they're like the flags, and everything in between is the record. So I think for people who've heard the singles now, they might be like, "What is going on?" You know, because even I think that they're very different, but the whole record kind of lives between these worlds. And yeah, when you listen to the whole body of work, it there's a line there that connects them all.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy Brazil. I hope it's very sunny here. Because, man, things are about to get. Hope you have a
Obrigado.
great show,
Thanks,
by the way.
Luiza.
Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for your time.
Nice to
See
talk.
ya.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
89, a Rádio Rock.